1945. Florida coast, Atlantic Ocean. The ocean was calm, the skies deceptively clear. It was December 5th, 1945, a day like any other, at the U.S. Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale. 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers lined up on the runway for a routine training mission. Designation: Flight 19. A triangular path over the Atlantic, out to the Bahamas, a turn north, then back. It was supposed to take just 3 hours. At 2:10 p.m., the squadron lifted off. 14 men in total. The pilots were young, some barely in their 20s. At the helm was Lieutenant Charles Taylor, an experienced flyer with over 2,500 flight hours. An hour and a half into the mission, the first strange transmission crackled over the radio. "This is an emergency. We seem to be off course. We cannot see land. Repeat, we cannot see land." There was static. Then another message. The voice was shaky. "Everything looks strange, even the ocean. We're completely lost." Then, silence. Over the next 30 minutes, frantic attempts were made to re-establish communication. Ground control picked up fragments, confused coordinates, compass readings that made no sense. Then, "My instruments are going crazy. Nothing's working right." And then, the final chilling words. "Don't come after me. They look like they're coming out of the water." The transmission ended mid-sentence. Flight 19 had vanished. No wreckage, no survivors, no distress signals. Just gone. But it didn't end there. A Mariner flying boat with 13 crewmen was dispatched to search for the squadron. It, too, disappeared from radar within 20 minutes. A massive explosion was reported by a nearby tanker, but no wreckage from that flight was ever recovered either. That night, the Bermuda Triangle claimed 27 lives in under 4 hours. In the weeks that followed, the Navy scoured the waters. Hundreds of ships, dozens of planes. Not a single piece of debris was ever found. Not one body. The official report concluded with a single chilling sentence. It was as if they had flown to Mars. Over the decades, whispers turned into legends. Radar blips in clear skies. Pilots hearing voices on the frequency. "Don't turn around, don't look down." Boats found adrift. Food still warm in the galley. No crew on board. Compasses spinning like mad. Timepieces stopping at exactly 3:27 p.m. The hour Flight 19 was last seen on radar. In 1991, a deep-sea salvage operation led by explorer David White uncovered what appeared to be a TBM Avenger 300 feet below the surface. The serial number matched one of the missing planes, but the condition of the wreck made no sense. The metal showed no signs of aging, as if it had crashed weeks ago. Worse, the cockpit glass was cracked from the inside. The seats? Empty. No bones. No personal effects. Only one thing remained intact. A waterlogged logbook. The last entry, written in smeared ink, simply read, "We are not alone." For years, experts dismissed it all as coincidence, blaming strong currents, navigational error, or bad weather. But Flight 19 had been flying in ideal conditions. Taylor had radioed that the sea looked different, greenish, glowing. And then the messages about the ocean, rising. It wasn't until 2012, when declassified CIA sonar data revealed a massive, perfectly circular trench 50 miles from the last known location of Flight 19, that new questions emerged. Sonar pulses had failed to penetrate the trench. Submarines sent in later reported anomalies, equipment failures, light distortions, and eerie, inhuman echoes coming from the deep. A Navy diver, who descended into the trench, surfaced in full panic. He kept whispering, "They're still flying down there." He never recovered, and was committed to a military psychiatric facility local Bahamian fishermen had their own name for the area: the Devil's Mouth. Generations had refused to cross it, not out of superstition, but fear. They spoke of lights below the water, sometimes shapes, triangular, black, hovering just beneath the waves. In 2020, during a satellite mapping mission, footage briefly showed what appeared to be 5 dark objects rising from the ocean floor in tight formation. Then, static. The feed was lost. The footage was erased from official archives. But a whistleblower leaked a frame. 5 Avenger silhouettes, flying underwater. The most disturbing discovery came from a letter mailed anonymously to the Naval Archives in 2021. It was postmarked Fort Lauderdale with no return address. Inside was a black and white photo. 5 young men standing by an Avenger. It was labeled Flight 19, 1945. But the back of the photo was dated July 17th, 2009. None of them looked a day older. The mystery has never been solved, but some believe the Bermuda Triangle isn't just a spot on the map. It's a doorway, a rift between dimensions, swallowing time and space. And those who vanish don't die. They just keep flying, waiting for someone to answer their final transmission.
Some say the Bermuda Triangle isn't just a place, but a passage, a tear in the fabric between worlds. Time, space, matter, everything slips there. Not lost, just trapped, repeating.